Secrets you don't know on the plane. For example, what are the 4 S's on the air ticket? The bathroom door of the plane, which can be opened outside even if it is locked, and how birds are forbidden to fly in the airport. This video tells you all that what you don't know on the plane is. First, have you ever thought about flying in a thunderstorm? What if the plane is hit by lightning? First of all, before the plane is put into use, lightning stroke simulation will be carried out to test its electrical conductivity, so as to ensure that lightning can pass through the shell of the plane, and return to the sky through the front end of the plane or the tip of the wing. But you're still worried, right? After all, I haven't actually witnessed it, but in fact, every plane is struck by lightning once a year. Second, where did the excrement on the plane go? When I was a child, I thought it was discharged directly in the air, but in fact, when you flush the toilet, you can suck away the excrement with strong suction and a small amount of water, which can save space and weight of the plane. Then the object will enter a large storage tank filled with disinfectant, and then it will be packed uniformly at the end of the flight. Some people may have seen this object look like a blue jelly, but it is actually a mixture of excrement and blue disinfectant. There has been a legend that a blue ice meteor fell to the earth. In fact, it was an individual event accidentally discharged by an airplane. There is also a record that a friend saw the blue ice meteor fall with his own eyes, and he was happy for a long time. The bathroom door of the third plane can be unlocked from the outside. One of the reasons is that children accidentally lock it inside, and only need one finger. First find this sign next to the door, then lift the sign and stroke the button to the unlocked position. Just a word of caution, this is only for flight attendants in emergency situations, so don't have bad thoughts. Fourth, why is the airplane meal so bad? Fire. These foods are usually prepared 12 to 72 hours before the flight takes off. Do you think it is frozen food after leaving for so long? No, it is frozen food, which is processed and heated only when passengers need it after being transported to the plane. Of course, luxury aviation is different, with special chefs and fresh ingredients. However, there is another reason why it tastes bad. The humidity level in the aircraft cabin is only 10%, which is even drier than the 25% humidity in the desert. When our bodies are exposed to this humidity, our sinuses become dehydrated, which affects our sense of taste and smell. For example, if you stop while in the air for a long time, your tongue's ability to taste sweet taste will decrease by 15% to 20%, while salty taste will become dull by 20% to 30%. To solve this problem, some airlines will greatly increase the salt and sugar in food, which will not only change the taste, but also cause you to consume much more calories than usual. But another tip is to wear headphones. Studies have shown that noise actually impairs our ability to taste food. If you don't believe it, you can try it next time. Oh, another interesting rule is that the captain and co-pilot can't eat the same kind of food to prevent food poisoning at the same time. Even if one pilot is uncomfortable, the other pilot can be taken over. How do I get into the 5th airport? Only birds fly. As we all know, birds are extremely dangerous for airplanes. For example, after one of the Turkish flights collided with a bird float in Italy, all the passengers landed safely. Therefore, the airport began to study various schemes to prevent birds from appearing, such as filling ponds and replacing green grass with stone. Another example is that airports in Virginia use air guns to scare away nearby bird friends. Another example is Paris Airport in France, where a big LED screen and a pair of big eyes are used to act as good people and scare them away. The 6th captain can refuse to be in a group with people he doesn't like. Imagine working with people he doesn't like for a few hours. If something happens, it may endanger the safety of passengers. Therefore, the captain and co-captain will have an unpaired list. If they don't want to share a flight with anyone, they will write it down, submit it once a month, and then go through the airline's dispatch. If you also have this permission, do you have any colleagues who don't want to work with? 7th, the safest position on the plane. Airplanes are currently owned the safest means of transportation, but despite this, as far as America is concerned, 1/3 of people are afraid of flying. Are you afraid of flying? Which position is relatively safe? Based on data from 17 recent aircraft accidents, the chances of survival in the rear of the aircraft were 68%, while in the front and middle the seats were only 61 to 62%. The safest seats were those near the aisle, for example, which provided quicker access to safety exits. 8th, woods. The use of the small hole under the window. In fact, it is one of the powerful safety functions on the aircraft. When the aircraft flies higher, the air pressure will be lower, so it is necessary to keep the air pressure window in the cabin through smooth ventilation, which is one of the weak areas in Shanghai stock market, so it needs to bear tremendous pressure. Ordinary glass breaks easily at high altitude, so aircraft windows are made up of 3 solid acrylic plates, the outermost of which is used to keep components out and keep cabin pressure. If the first one breaks, the middle layer acts as failure insurance, while the innermost layer is for prevent someone from scratching accidentally. Then the function of this small hole is actually to exhaust air. It is located in the glass in the middle layer. The main purpose is to balance the air pressure between the outside and the inside, and also to prevent the window from fogging or frosting. What's the difference between the warning tones of 9 planes? Usually, hearing the bell is a warning, and turbulent flight is coming soon. 2 consecutive alerts indicate that the plane is approaching an altitude of 3 kilometers, while 3 consecutive alerts indicate that there is a serious problem. For example, if the passenger suddenly becomes seriously ill, the plane will encounter extreme turbulence. But if you hear the prompt tone ringing all the time, please make all defensive preparations or write down what you want to say. 10th, where do flight attendants rest? They were right behind this little door, and when they opened it they saw a narrow staircase, and above it was their exclusive space. These spaces are generally in the overhead area of the aircraft. One is provided for air relaxation in the rear half of the aircraft, and the other is provided for pilots to rest in the front half of the aircraft. Each bed has pillows, duvets and seat belts, and some airlines there are luxurious rest areas for the crew, such as sealed pillowcases, so if you suddenly can't see the air you like, it may be resting above your head. The 4S on 11 air tickets are suspected of carrying suspicious items on you. We all know that the airport attaches great importance to safety, and even the slightest doubt will not be let go. From your consultation to buying tickets, to paying, as long as it is interesting, your air ticket will be marked with this sign. Then you will enjoy the luxury of a personal VIP room with a thorough examination.